I would like to mention a fascinating, I don't know if the word is, well, let's call it a discussion in the Poskim. The question is, until when can you make Erev Tashil? And the Poskim say that you can make Erev Tashil until into Bein HaShmoshes. And you can do it until Bein HaShmoshes. And some of the Poskim say, but if you do it Bein HaShmoshes, you should do it without a bracha, because Sofik the bracha is lahakol. Now, this makes absolutely no sense. What? Well, I'm not going to argue with that statement, but that statement isn't clear enough. I'm going to make Erev Tashil and Bein HaShmoshes, and I'm going to use it or I'm not going to use it. What?
You're in a video situation, no?
That's true.
But the bracha you're making is to use it.
But if I'm using it, then that's I'm obviously taking on that it works, right? So then that should take care of the Sofik brachas lahakol, right? No, the two things don't work together.
Yeah, but the suffix isn't because of the suffix you're going to use it. The suffix is, can you actually make an Erev Tashil?
And then, and if you didn't do it because you met too late, then you can't use it, right?
Can't use it.
Right. So.
Making Erev Tashil.
Right. You can't make it today for tomorrow, right? You can only.
Be able to say bracha full stop if you're going to.
Right. If you're going to say that you're allowed to do it, Bein HaShmoshes, then that should be mechayev you that you can make a bracha too. Okay? And I'm just going to share with you a, I don't know what you want to call it, a idea of this thing which we discussed in Hilchos Chanukah, and it's a fascinating idea. What is the halacha that Mishnah Berurah says that if a person lights Neres Chanukah at 3 o'clock in the morning, he says you make a bracha, even though it's a suffix, and you should say suffix brachas d'Rabbanan. So we learned Hilchos Chanukah, we said over from the Achronim that they say the reason why you say a bracha is because if you light Chanukah candles without making a bracha, it's not clear that they're Chanukah candles, and then you didn't accomplish what you were supposed to accomplish. So the halacha of suffix d'Rabbanan, suffix brachas d'Rabbanan is if you can have the mitzvah in its full impact, you're just missing the bracha, so we're mevater on the bracha. But if you need the bracha in order to give impact to the mitzvah, so then you don't say it. So over here, a similar idea, if you're going to be using it, right, so you should have to say it, right? This is a question. Now, there is another question. I'm just going to read a halacha over here.
How is the bracha impacting the Erev Tashil?
No, but I'm just saying that you see that when you need, when you're vada going, you have to do it. So then you could say, no, it's not a special halacha that brachas we don't say. It's when you have a suffix and you could live without the bracha, you can't say it. But if you can say, if you're using the Erev Tashilin, so why shouldn't you make it the bracha? I'm just borrowing from there the concept that's not always that brachas we don't make. It has to be. Now, but once I'm gonna come to the rabbi, I'm gonna say, can I make an Erev Tashilin? He'll say yes. Can I use my Erev Tashilin? Yes. So why can't I make a bracha? If you tell me make the Erev Tashilin and don't use it, then I could understand not making a bracha. But I can't understand why I should make it. But, one way or the other. Okay? Now, I'm just going to answer this question. This is not my answer to the question. Take a look at Sif Hey. The halacha over here is something fascinating. First, I'm going to share with you something about Sif Dalid. Tzarek Tavshil Zet Tav Kuf Samach Zayin Tav Kuf Chav Zayin Sif Dalid. Tzarek Tavshil Zet Davar Sharoi LeLafes Boyes Hapas Lafuke Daisa. You cannot make Erev Tashilin on daisa because daisa is not something that's eaten together with bread, and it has to be something which is eaten together with bread. Now, I'm going to share with you a modern day shaila. There are many things which Nowadays, we don't eat with bread. I'll just tell you, if you will notice, there are many people that eat fish together with bread. That's like, there are certain foods that go together with bread, certainly don't. I don't think anybody over here eats chicken together with bread. Yeah?
Chicken strips will put it onto, and kids will eat on bread.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, so...
Some people don't make full bread.
Okay, so this becomes a question in the poskim today. The halacha is that you could use meat, or chicken, or fish for Erev Tashilin, but it has to be something which is malafis as apas. Now, what we would eat together with bread nowadays is not the same as 300 years ago. And according to many poskim, the halacha changed because of that. Who knows what fits into this category? Okay, the next thing is hey, Tavshil zeh she'amru afilu tzli, afilu shaluk, afilu kavush, u'ma'ushon. It can be any one of these ways that the food is prepared. Afilu min dogim kitanim she'dicham b'mayim chamim. You have, those who learn Hilchos Shabbos are aware of this thing called kulisas b'snainim, which is a small, like a sardine or something like this, that they would wash it off with hot water, and that would be the bishul of it. You could do that. And you can also use cooked apples, as long as Mishnah Berurah says, as long as you use them, you eat them together with bread. All of these things you can use for Erev Tashilin. Yes. And not only that, if I'm not mistaken, tuna is eaten together with bread, right? That's like, that's the one thing that's still going on. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right, well, that's also okay. Okay. Now that's a, I just would like to share with you that there's a fascinating discussion in the poskim. The first things that it says over here in the list, afilu buvushal, tzli, sholok. All of those are cooking processes. Then it says afilu kavush or mu'ushin. Now the Tur doesn't say the word kavush. He takes out the word kavush. And the Mishnah Berurah has over here take a look at Mishnah Berurah Sifkat Yud Gimel. Tzli, v'davka tzli mamish. Avo moliach, if you have something that's salted, afshu chashiva kiraseach ditzli, even though in many halachas it has the halacha of tzli, afilu hochi ein ma'arvin, v'gora mikavush. And what is ma'ushon, right?
Yeah. You can get pickles.
I'll just tell you that my wife made for Pesach herring out of wax, out of salmon, and it works very good. No. Vafilu ain't ma'arvin v'gora mikavush de lakamei. Ochen ein ma'arvin b'dogim meluchim shekarim herring. Avshul roi la'achila kemo shehu chai. Ochen elu hamunachim b'shuli achovis, the herrings that are sitting in the bottom of the barrel. Shekvushin heim b'tzir, they are sitting in the brine, totally covered. Yesh lem din kavush u'ma'arvin b'hem. So he says that those you could use. If you have it sitting in the brine totally, then you could use it. Why is it that these things, why should kavush be one way and maliach another way? I really don't have it 100% clear, but I'm just going to share with you. The Chai Adam says that you could use kavush 100%, and there are those who say you can't. It's a big machlokes about kavush, and there are those that say that if you would use kavush then the question of if you could make a bracha, possibly you would not make a bracha, even you can rely on it, because there's a difference in Safek Brachas Lahakil. There's a difference in why you have Safek. In other words, the question of Ben Hashmoshes or not, if you say that you could still do Erev Tashil at that time, once you make the Erev Tashil, it's 100% Erev Tashilin. Kavush, that's a question, even if you're going to say you could do it, it's still a questionable item, and therefore, according to some, you'd say Safek Brachas Lahakil, and you cannot make a bracha on Kavush. And you would say Safek Brachas Lahakil doesn't mean you can't make a bracha Ben Hashmoshes. So these two halachas, according to some, separate.
You want to put fish and brine on Sabbath?
No. Okay. Okay. I am going to right now share with you. What?
I'm supposed to use it, but technically, pickles is a cover item.
I think so.
Sour pickle has been in the barrel for...
Yeah, okay. I'm going to right now, we mentioned this a little bit last week, but I would like to expand on this a little bit today. Here we have a Mishnah Berurah Shabbos. I'm going to read a Mishnah Berurah and a Sha'ar Tzion and introduce you to a fascinating machlokes in Erev Tashil. In Siman Shin Beis. Shin Beis discusses washing clothing, taking out stains of clothing, whatever is called the malacha of machabes. Malabin is the malacha, what it's really called. Okay, I am right now going to read a halacha. Mekaplin kelim b'Shabbos, you're allowed to fold kelim on Shabbos, l'tzarich Shabbos, l'lov sham bo bayom, if you're going to be wearing them that day. V'davka ba'adam u'v'chadashim sh'adayin lo niskapsu, u'levanim ve'ein lahachlif, v'mchisa echad me'tanaim me'elo aser. Okay, says the Mishnah Berurah. Where is it? Ve'ein lo lahachlif, avol im yesh lo lahachlif v'beged acher l'Shabbos, afal pi she'eno yafa kazeh lo yitiru lo lekalpo. You're not allowed to fold your clothing. V'kol shekein ein dai to lilbosh klal bo b'yom de'aser. If you're not planning to wear your garment on Shabbos, then you're not allowed to fold it because it's going to be called hachana. Umikol makom. Here we go. B'yom tov shachal be'erev Shabbos. When, like this week, mutter lekapel talisoi kishapashtoi. You can fold your talis on Shavuos morning if you're able to fold your talis on Shavuos morning. Some people on Shavuos morning they can't do that, but if you can fold it, then you may. Imhi chadash levana va'av she'ein daito lo lo shabo bayom. Even though you're not planning to wear it that day, you're not going to wear it until Shabbos. V'hainu kisha'asa Eiruv Tavshin. When can you do that? Only if you made an Erev Tashil. Dilav hochri hare asa lahachin l'tzarech machar. You're not allowed to prepare on Yontif for Shabbos without an Erev Tashil. But what we just said in English is that with an Erev Tashil you can prepare from Yontif to Shabbos, right? Okay. 1 second, we're gonna. Okay. V'chein kaso be'el yarabah. Aval b'chedushi Rabbi Kiva Eger hochiach da'af b'lo hiniach Erev Tashilin shori im hismucha l'Shabbos. Even without an Erev Tashilin, you can fold your garments from Friday to Shabbos. You don't need an Erev Tashilin in order to fold your garments. That's the Shita. So we just said right now in El Yerabah. And El Yerabah says that it works with the Erev Tashilin, and the Kivega says you don't need one, and Shulchan Aruch Harav and Siman Tov Gimel says that even with an Erev Tashilin you cannot do it. Okay? Now this is a fascinating machlokes.
Can you fold your talent from one Shabbos for the next?
there's a machlokes, most poskim, and Rabbi Yosef Chaim Zarutel. Rabbi Yosef Chaim Zarutel says you can, and most poskim say you can't. All right. Now, this is a fascinating idea, and this has relevance to many things. I would like to share with you right now a modern shaila. I've said this over in short when we were learning Hilchos Erev Tashilin, but now we're in a different forum. I would like to expand upon this idea a little bit more. Where I grew up, in my parents' home, we cooked on Yontif. In other words, the meal Yontif night was cooked on Yontif. And, everything was made fresh on Yontif. When I got married, my wife used to bake challahs on Yontif. Okay? No, that's the world that I was brought up in. I'm going to say something which I would say that since I'm speaking in English, I don't think there's so many Israelis here in this group. An Israeli doesn't make anything on Yontif. Everything comes from the fridge or the freezer. They don't make anything on Yontif. What? I don't know. It depends who. Okay? And what? I'm just going to tell you, I would just like to tell you something. There are people, I would even imagine in this group, there are people who have stoves that are induction stoves. You have an induction stove, you cannot use it on Yontif. Because when you put the pot on, it turns on. When you take the pot off, it turns off. You can't. Yeah. Okay? You can't, you can't use it.
Also, ovens are now have magnetic connections. If you open the door, it turns lights on.
Okay, I'm just saying the situation of the world that we live in today is greatly different than 30 years ago. And because of that, very few people nowadays are cooking anything on Yontif. I would just say that there are some people, my wife has friends that when they make fish, they make it on a plata. They put it out on Thursday night, and then they use it on Shabbos. That's the way they do it a whole week.
We're making glimpses on food.
Oh, wonderful. Let me just ask you a question. What are you making on Shavuos? You're not making any blintzes on Shavuos. You're warming up blintzes that were already made.
No.
You're making blintzes?
We have the wrap.
Well, a second. You have the wrap? How do you have a wrap?
Made it before.
Okay. Now you take the wrap, which is fully cooked, and you put into it potatoes or cheese, right? Which is probably also cooked.
So you're saying it's a bishul after bishul.
Right, and this is the question where we're going to. Even those people here, we have a sample of a guy who says, "Yeah, I cook," and he's not cooking anything, right?
I would make a blintzes too, but it's an electric blintzes maker.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm just saying that this is the situation that we have, and the question becomes very relevant if one should make Erev Tashilin. Now, when someone's going to say, what do you mean? You have to make Erev Tashilin because you have to light candles. But for lighting candles, you don't make a bracha on Erev Tashilin. Right? So you have to be making Erev Tashilin for something that you're going to do a malacha for.
Wait, so if I'm going to be making blintzes and have some for Shabbos, that I don't need Erev Tashilin for that?
I'm not sure I understood your question. What does that have to do with blintzes?
I'm just for example.
If you have something that's left over, you're not making for Shabbos, so then you don't need a tashil for that,
no,
right?
If I'm making extra after for Shabbos.
So maybe you will have to, but I didn't yet right now. But could be yes, could be no. The question is, why should you need Erev Tashil if you're making blintzes for Shabbos? Right? Right?
If you don't make Erev Tashilin twice, you have to make it.
That's when you have to make Erev Tavshilin. Right, the people in Harmanuchas, they don't get any knas, right? Why not? Because they're not cooking. Maybe they're cooking, but
Maybe they're cooking somewhere else. But not
okay. I'll just.
So heating up the soup.
We're going to discuss that. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss all those things in a minute.
No, I take the soup out of the fridge an hour before Shabbos and heat it up so it's going to have for Shabbos. You don't need Erev Tashil.
Ubnei Adam. I'm just making this clear. I'm not right now saying my opinion. I'm right now quoting, okay? Ubnei Adam she'enam mevashim klal litzarech Yom Tov. Umekablim Tavshilin mivushar litzarech Yom Tov. V'hem mechamim es ha-Tavshil litzarech Yom Tov. Im hu davar yovesh shenizbashel kodem ha-Yom Tov. Ein tzarech lasas Erev Tashil amur chimum. De'ein b'zeh iser bishul. Okay? Achim hu davar lach shenitztanen legamri. Yesh b'zeh pluktu legabe Shabbos. Im yesh b'zeh mishum bishul. And this is Rabbi Nissan. The Chazon Ish holds that it's mutter midina. In Ken kedai lasos Erev Tavshilin b'shil chimumo ach b'li bracha, because it's. Well, that's why I'm here, right? Okay. Now the question over here is, and this is the question which I'm bringing to your attention. So, okay, this is what I'm right now reading what he says. There's a very good question on him. What about achana? Okay, so then we get back to the question which we discussed a second ago. For achana, does it help Erev Tashil? Do you need Erev Tashil or not? Okay, so this is I'm just saying. I'm explaining to you. This is a very what?
Especially if you bring it on a shmash, it's even worse.
Okay.
Okay. So what are we doing tomorrow or Thursday?
I'm going to just tell you.
So what do we do Thursday?
Okay, when somebody asks me, what should I do? Should I make Erev Tashilin? I say, yes, you should make an Erev Tashilin. And I say, but what should I do that will make it sure that I'm going to be doing a malacha? I say, you take a cup of hot water and you put it into your urn on Friday.
Hot water or cold water?
Cold water.
Cold.
If it's on the fire.
Well, you'll have an urn. It's on the fire, and it'll get hot. It gets 100% cooked. Now, I just have to make a statement that has to be that there's a possibility that you may use that water, right? If you, right?
Whatever, if you don't have an herb.
What? Okay, I'll find for you somebody.
We have electric.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying, but there are.
Put 2 eggs in a pot on the fire.
Okay. You have to make 3 eggs. You don't make 2 eggs in a pot. Okay, but I'm just saying that these. I'm just. This is I just say. About 2 years ago, I said over to Soda in my koilo, in 10 years from now, people are not going to be making Erev Tashil with the bracha. So you could say to your children, remember that we made Erev Tashil with the bracha, because your kids or your grandchildren probably won't be. Now this is not because the halacha changed. This is just application of the halacha. As time moves on, things change.
How important is it to put that water in versus making the Erev Tashil without the water?
Oh, you could make it.
I may forget. But remembering to do the Erev Tashil is easy because they have all the speakers going around.
Okay, fine. So just do it without a bracha, and that's it. Okay, that's a very.
This recommendation is to do without a bracha. I'm not sure you're going to do anything.
And then if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to decide I'm going to make a barbecue, last minute.
Yeah, well, I would just say Chacham Ben Tzira B'Shol, he says that you could make it with a bracha because something may always go wrong with your food, or you may decide to make a barbecue or something. Okay, yeah, hakol yachol liot. And therefore he says that you can make it with a bracha. I don't know if I agree with him if those possibilities really exist. Right? He's already not alive for 35 years or something like that. I'm just saying, I don't know, I'm not arguing from the halachic point of view, but I would say that you probably should make an Erev Tashil without a bracha. That's what you should do. If there's
the rest of us, we should just cook some water.
Yeah, that's what I would say. In other words, what I'm saying is, and I'll just tell you, I have a cousin who has a seminary in Yerushalayim, and he called me up 2 days ago, and he asked me the following question. The girls in his seminary, some of them are sleeping one place Shavuos night, and another place on Shabbos night. They want to know if there's a way that they can carry their pajamas on Friday to, the other destination. Well, the question is, there's a hachana problem. There's no hitzah problem because there's an Erev, right? What? Well, that's a different question.
Maybe they just wear it.
Okay, well, I hope that none of these girls are wearing their pajamas walking down the street.
They wear it underneath something.
Okay, well, this becomes a question. Are you allowed to carry them to where you're going? So it becomes part of this question, which we discussed, the Ayarabba, Eger, and Shulchan Aruch Harav. Can you? I just said they should just wait till after, either go there early enough that you could put them on and take a nap, or find some way to avoid this question because it's far from a simple question. Now, that's these are real questions.
I think that when you go to someone on Shabbos as a guest, you're relying on the Erev Tashil of the Balabais, right? So why
I'm not sure that
something different? You're eating the food that was prepared and not for Shabbos. You're relying on Balabais.
Well,
They make an Erev Tashil without a bracha.
who's the, who? They can.
But they're just never going to do it.
Okay, but that's this is the world of Bochum, so to speak. It doesn't work.
But that's covered carrying their pajamas?
According to some machlokes. I would just like to share with you another fascinating halacha. There is a halacha in the Gemara in Beitza that a person wants to be mazmin a kan yoinim to eat. So you say yoinim zu, I plan to eat them. If a person says all my yoinim I'm going to eat, it doesn't work. Now the question is, a person right now he's on Thursday and it's getting late, and he says, all the food that I have, I want it to be for Erev Tashilin. Can you do that or not?
You have to have it still for Shabbos.
The halacha is, as long as there's still some food left by Shabbos, then it works. But if you didn't do anything for Shabbos, you're using all your food, there are those who say it doesn't work, the Erev Tashilin. The Erev Tashilin has to be, you can overestimate, but you can't, it has to be that we see it that it's for Shabbos. Okay? All right. Another fascinating question, and this is a question which is very important. When is one supposed to make an Erev Tashil? I'm willing to say right now, most people do it at the wrong time.
Not on Erev Yom?
No, it's supposed to be done on Erev Yontif.
In the afternoon, Erev Yontif.
In my opinion, and this is not only my opinion, it should be done on Erev Yontif in the morning. Yeah, because that's what you're supposed to be preparing.
If we get further along today,
Don't they have to use the food that's already cooked?
Yeah, we should have food,
It's
Okay, well, it has to be cooked, right? That's but
afternoon the food is cooked.
I didn't say you can't make it in the afternoon.
I'm saying
One stage shul has to get along today. What's the problem?
Because you should make it something as soon as you can, right? There's something like that. On Erev Yontif night, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, there are those that say that you could already make Erev Tashil. You cannot make Erev Tashil today. It has to be, it has to be Erev Yontif. But when on Erev Yontif, there are those that say that it starts from as soon as Erev Yontif. Some say that it starts from the morning. Avad, if you make it in the afternoon, it's 100% okay. But the Maisa, when is the best time to do it? Probably the best time to do it is in the morning when you have everything all done. Or you have food that you're... Now, I just want to say one other thing, which is... Yeah. Now, I would just like to go against a piece of Messiah in Klal Yisrael and say that the Messiah doesn't exist. Many people, and when I say many people, I'm talking about Ashkenazim, Sfardim, Teimonim, all kinds of people make an Erev Tashilin on eggs. Okay? This is 100% incorrect. That's the minig. And the minig is incorrect. And I'm going to explain why the minig is incorrect. And then you'll understand why you're laughing at yourself, not at me.
I put it into the newsletter also. Nice, AI picture.
You did? You put it in?
Of an egg the egg in the cup.
Okay, fine. So now we know that this Messiah is really... Okay.
That's last.
Okay, I'm going to explain to you the mistake. There are those times in particular, I'm starting from the times in particular, where you have a 3-day yontif. Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. And you have to have, your Erev Tashilin should be able to last into Shabbos. Right? If you put fish for an Erev Tashilin on a 3-day yontif, what's going to be when Shabbos comes around?
If it's in the fridge.
No, before they had fridges.
If you didn't have a fridge, the place where we're talking about your minhagim happened 200 years ago.
And you use your herring.
Okay, but they're saying they didn't have the ability to make it on something which is, substantial and choshev. The only thing that they could make it on was something which would have the stability. And I'm just saying this is,
I guess the problem is not choshev.
No, it's not choshev.
That was the roller going to meal every day.
So, what does that have to do with being choshev? Not only that, I'll just tell you that my grandmother remembers shechting on Yontif to eat, right? In other words, they ate fresh food. They didn't have fresh from the freezer. They didn't have that delicacy which we have. And because of that, they didn't have the option to make it on their meat or on their fish or something like that. So they made it on an egg. So this became a minig. Now, this is not a minig. This is just a practical thing that you have to do something which will have longevity. And I will tell you that I've seen people in America that made it on jar fish. Okay? Because that lasts a long time. And it's probably more choshev than eggs. I know, it depends who you ask. But I make it on fish. No, the fish that I make it on fish. Usually I have a piece of gefilte fish or some other kind of fish that I designate. This one is for the Erev Tashilin. Yeah. Okay, I don't leave it out. I have no. Okay.
So to summarize,
yeah, challah or matzah, whatever.
It definitely works. Just it's not mechubad because we have better options nowadays.
Right, and they used to not have better options. I'm just saying, I'm just saying that the minig is the minig is a minig tos, because it's not a minig. This was a practical. That's like saying that I go to shul by car. That's my minig. You don't go to shul by car. You go to shul if you can get there, right?
Oh, that's like the minhag people didn't eat garlic on Pesach because it grew in the wheat field. Now they don't. It doesn't grow in the wheat field.
I don't know that. I don't know that that's the reason. The Pri Megadim didn't know that that's the reason. I'm just telling you there are certain things which are.
Or milk or something. People have
Okay, people that
have it available.
Okay, there are people who on Pesach don't eat fish. There are people on Pesach who don't eat chicken.
And all those is minhag tells.
No, it's not. I don't think that those are all all of those things have explanations given to them besides the practical reasons. But I'm just saying that there are certain things that's not called a minig. You know, if a person didn't, I have a minig that I don't eat chocolate on, a certain time. It wasn't available, right? That's not called a minig. A minig has to be that you're proactively doing something for a specific reason. And if you have that reason, then it's a gea. If it's a technical thing, if you don't have that technical reason, then it should be mutter. Okay. $50 here. I don't think there's any difference. Here was this beer halacha.
Are you going to eat the matzah?
What's that?
Are you going to eat the matzah?
You don't have to eat them.
You're supposed to eat it.
It's a mitzvah to eat it. That's okay. Here we go. Your dalit. Wrong Shabbat. Okay. Now, I just would like to mention something. This idea that you should make it on Erev Yontif. I'm going to read over here part of a bir halacha. This is a very important bir halacha. I'm reading on our first halacha, Sif Yudalid. Iminich Erev al das lisvach olav kol zman sheyakayim afilu liyontiv acher lechatchila yisvach olav liyontiv acher al b'diavad lisvach olav. If you made Erev Tashilin and it was still around by the next Yontif, you can be soymech on it. 1 second.
Are you supposed to make another declaration?
Lechatchila yisvach olav diyesh de'ez bazeh bein ha'poiskim. Yesh on the tama erev move b'sif alav yochel ha'arev erev yomtov lahasla sheyeh erev afl yomtov achram in yiskayim. Av the nimsa shenich erev zman rav kodim yontiv leichbas lang kivad al kaponim kvar hischel hachin for that yontiv. Yesh on the mitzvah alicha davka be'erev yontiv. Okay, now here there's a very long. That was going to when the chatchila when you're supposed to do it. Now there's a very long bir halacha on this subject. If you're making it for the first day of Yontif and the last day of Yontif, the question is how many kizaysim do you have to make? Do you have to have a kizayis for each day of Yontif, or you could be samech on one kizayis for both days? Now this is I'm just mentioning this because people ask me these questions, can I do it? Why can't I do it now for then? And I'm just mentioning that it's not so simple that you can, not so simple that you can't. That's why. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, we'll leave it with that. Okay.